Hey friends, it's Kaz, and welcome back to another video. This one is a new series, and I'm going to call it New Year's SMP. And that's because my friends and I have put together a server for New Year's, and the idea is we're all going to play on it in the days leading up to New Year's and get a bunch of fireworks and have a nice little celebration in survival Minecraft because we can't meet up in person, unfortunately. Now, the server went live at midnight, and I recorded all my time on it, but I didn't actually do any talking because I didn't want to wake anyone up. So I edited down that footage, and I'm going to do a voiceover it now. So without further ado, uh, here's the first night of the New Year's SMP. So we all spawn in this spruce forest, and I actually very rarely play in spruce forests, so this will be interesting. Although I don't end up staying here for long. I think a lot of people will end up building their bases there. I sped up a lot of the wood gathering, coal collecting, mining, stuff like that, just because I'm sure that you've seen it a million times before, and it's not really that interesting. Um, and I'm going to try not to comment on a lot of stuff, especially because I'm going to be putting in some music in the background, and a lot of it's pretty self-explanatory, like just making tools and mining. There is a lot of mining in this, but I did speed it up, so you'll also see a bunch of people probably talking in the chat and joining just because this had just gone up, and so obviously there's going to be a bunch of people online. Um, I actually did mostly just gathering stuff, especially because I wasn't talking, and I figured I didn't want to do too much stuff without really doing a nice recorded episode. Although I did actually really like how this video turned out with the voiceover and the edited down. There was over 2 hours of footage that I turned down into this like 20-minute video, so I hope you enjoy. And if you do, you know there's a button to show that you enjoy it. Luckily, just below this video. Anyway, um, I end up just mining some trees and heading on my way, and there is actually a really nice cave not that far from spawn, which I do spend most of my early game time in before I end up meeting up with Quentin and we head on a little adventure, which you'll see later. Anyway, I head down here. I don't have any torches or anything, but I see that that cave is pretty much a dead end, and I decide to go deeper down this way. Um, we find some iron really early. I actually don't know if this is the first iron that anyone found in the game. I honestly have no idea. I think I was either the first or second to full iron armor, and I was the first to do some other stuff. I keep getting ahead of myself. I'm trying not to spoil the video, especially because I just finished editing it down, so it's fresh in my mind. But because I don't have a torch, I decided to make a furnace, and I will make some charcoal in there because one, the furnace will light up my cave, and I'll be able to find coal easier, and two, if I don't find coal, I will have charcoal to smelt this iron with, or I guess the charcoal to smelt more logs with. But I do find coal like basically right away, so it isn't an issue. If you keep an eye on the chat, you'll see kind of the progress of the other players. They tend to be doing pretty much the same speed as I am, and later on I will surely do a tour of like their bases and stuff. Again, stay tuned for that. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of this series. I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit, and you'll just watch the mining take place. And here is the first death of many. You can see, there was obviously no way I could have avoided that. It's not like I was just focusing too hard on coal to watch a creeper just walk up to me and detonate. But anyway, there's a recurring theme in this series, and that is my deaths. I die a couple times, and then I mention something about, oh, thank goodness there's no death counter, because on the last server we did, there was a death counter, and I think I hit like 200, which is pretty cool. It's like a high score. I think I die at least like 4 times in this video, probably more. But I get my stuff back pretty easily, and then I just kind of continue the gamer grind like nothing happened, because no creeper's gonna crunch my vibe. I'm gonna keep mining this iron. I do find tons and tons of coal in this cave. I don't mind much of it just because I don't really need coal that much. It's really common, and I already had a couple of stacks at this point. And I'm pretty sure just about everybody was doing pretty similar stuff to me, you know, just grinding out iron, getting stuff like that. And we get some iron tools. I get more stone pickaxes so I can waste those, but without wasting my iron pick, because right now I don't have a lot of iron. Start smelting more, get some iron armor on. We're doing pretty well for ourselves. Again, if you want to keep in mind rankings, I think I was the second person to get iron armor. I think Quentin got some first. I'm pretty sure I was the first to get full, but as far as I know, Quentin and I both have full iron. By the time this video is going up, probably more people as well. Now, here we have a tricky customer. I get knocked around by a creeper, and then I just get obliterated by this baby zombie. And I have no food except rotten flesh, which I had been casually munching throughout this cave. So I was kind of in a pickle here. And then my favorite mob pops up, and there's death number 2. It's pretty easy to get my stuff back, though, because the cave is pretty close to spawn. At this point, the death counter is implemented, and everyone's at 0, which is convenient for me because I had died the most out of everyone. Here I struggle to type a stupid face to convey my emotions, and back to the grind. Now, one downside to being so close to spawn is sometimes we get these nerd losers showing up. Now, I tend to be a peaceful guy, as I'm sure everyone watching this will be well aware of. So, obviously, my first action is to peacefully coexist with Walgreen bootleg. Unfortunately, this peace does not last for very long. Anyway, do my best to ignore him. I'm like, well, we can share the cave. I'm sure he can mine all this coal that I don't really want. And grab some iron, and I start crafting a shield because I have full armor, I have a pickaxe, there's not much I need. Now, if you look in the top left, he does pop up, right-click on the furnace, and get the achievement Acquire Hardware, which is a little bit suspicious. Obviously, I can't just let this guy rob me. So I do what any good citizen of SMP New Year's would do, and hunt him down. And he does actually suffer a terrible accident, which there was nothing I could have done to avoid this super unfortunate series of events. He falls off a cliff. Now, I'm not a monster, so I give him the cords, I leave everything. Well, I say everything. I leave everything except one item, which is the iron he took. Now this fella, he's a little upset for a good while, so I decide to head out of Dodge. I meet up with Q, and we have a beautiful adventure. He actually gives me some food because I had been existing off rotten flesh, as mentioned earlier. And we head off into the sunset together, like absolute legends. Don't know what I would have done without that cooked pork. Probably die a lot. I think that's a solid guess. I misspell cutie, which is pretty cool. And I think about giving him iron, but then I just don't, and head on my way. And very quickly, I find a place that isn't spruce forest, which is pretty epic because I'm into that. I don't like the spruce forests that much. And then right afterwards, we actually end up finding a village, which is pretty convenient. And this is actually where I'm going to set up my temporary base. because there is like a pig pen set up, and my initial thought is, wow, I can just farm these pigs, they're already contained. The only issue with that is throughout the entire village there's actually 0 carrots or potatoes, so I couldn't really breed them. Um, this isn't really a big deal because I actually found cows pretty quickly after, and there is tons of wheat in this village, and I actually needed a cow enclosure to get enchantment table stuff anyway, which we'll be doing in a different episode. Anyway, this is me looting the village. It's all sped up. I end up capturing a couple villagers, which I think you don't see on camera, but I capture 2 just so that they don't get all murdered in the night, because I am going to be spending time here, and I don't want to have to go to a different village if I want to do some trades. I set up shop right next to this pig enclosure, and this is like the first semblance of a base. Obviously, it's not pretty. I will in the future make a nice house and a nice cow enclosure. Again, I know I mentioned this in the past, but if you want to see stuff like that, just don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that I'll appear in your feed and you'll be able to watch that. Also, I think I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but if you like this kind of style where I talk over edited down footage, let me know. Otherwise, if you would rather I do a conventional Let's Play where I talk and record, while it's happening, and then there's actual like live reactions, let me know. Anyway, turns night, I do some farming, and I pretty quickly head underground after looting all these houses. We do end up adding 1 player sleep and gravestones, but that doesn't happen until later, so it just gets set to day for that second. These are the cows I was talking about earlier. I initially try and trap them before realizing I'm actually being a little silly, and I have wheat on me, and I have an enclosure already built, so that ends up sorting out itself pretty easily. Now these pigs do end up escaping, but that's fine because their days are now numbered. They are no longer valuable to me, and this guy actually meets his demise pretty easily. Now I pretty much immediately turn underground. Here's me capturing those villagers that I was talking about, but after messing around with this guy for a while, I head underground, and that's where I spend basically the remainder of this video. Wall Blues never ends up finding me, which is pretty cool. I'm sure he actually did, but he probably cooled down after that. And I do end up seeing. When I recorded the opening video for this, where I'm sitting in front of my house, Q actually was online, and we ended up hanging out for a bit. I think we're gonna be close buddies on this server. I cannot say the same for Wall Blues. I don't know if that's gonna work out or how that's gonna happen. I'm sure it'll be all right. The idea of this is everyone's gonna be cooperative and celebratory, so I'm sure it won't be an issue. Anyway, I end up finding lava pool, tons of iron, and I think I'll just let this montage just kind of play itself out. Now, after falling in this lava pool right as the grave data pack is set up, I do end up deciding to use the lava and some water to create a quick portal. And I don't actually end up doing anything in the nether. It's actually a really bad portal spawn. I just did it for the achievement and to make a little flex and joke. because obviously everyone's still getting their iron stuff, and then they see that I went to the nether, and it's going to cause a bit of confusion. Pretty much immediately just head back into the portal though, but I figured I'd explain why I went to the nether here. We do actually have a creeper-related cow incident. Gets patched up pretty quick though. And actually, after way too much strip mining, we ended up finding just a little bit of the blue stuff, which is pretty cool. I think I ended up I think I recorded for almost like 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours, and a good like 60-70% of that was strip mining, and I didn't end up finding that many diamonds even. But here are the first ones. You can see some other people are popping into the nether. And the strip mine gang just kind of continues on. Now I did mention earlier that I think dying is like a little motif of mine here on Minecraft servers in general. I end up getting chased down by this little baby zombie. These baby zombies have caused, I think, the majority of my deaths on this server. Creepers and baby zombies are basically the entire everything. And this guy ends up getting me somehow. Like, oh, my shield gets knocked and he just takes me out. But it's not a big deal because the strip mines are just below my base. I do end up finding a mine shaft, but I don't end up exploring it much just because my inventory was full at the time and I didn't really want to get lost and lose and die somewhere and lose all my diamonds that I had on me, which was, I think it was like 7, but at the time that was 100% of my diamonds, which is, not an ideal amount of diamonds to lose. If I had to decide on whether to lose 100% or less, I would generally choose less. And that's honestly it. This is my haul. Um, 12 diamonds and some other stuff, and that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a great day. If you want to see more of this New Year's SMP, just don't forget to hit the subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you thought. This has been Kaz. See ya.